Hey guys, so yesterday I uploaded the Who Should You Choose video where I answered your guys' questions from the comments of that video, and today was a little bit slower in terms of actual content that was released other than the 95 Pedersen. That was really the only thing of value or of note, so I thought, well, you guys gave me a ton of comments on the last video I did yesterday, so why not do one again? So let's get into some of your guys' questions and what card you should choose in NHL 20. So we'll kick things off with Brooklyn. Hey dude, would you rather have the 90 Mikhanov from the Ukraine or the 93 Anisimov at center? Thanks a lot, bro. So let's take a look at the cards. So up first, we'll take a look at the Anisimov, 6'4", 198, so great size, his 99 skating across the board. Shot is a little rough at just around 90. Hand stats, 90 across the board, as well as body checking. So not a bad card at all. Also has 91 on the faceoff, so it's not terrible, but you're kind of on the lowest end of what you want at this stage of the game in terms of faceoff. So Anisimov is one of the better cards from this release in terms of just use and whatnot in terms of how this game is played. So Anisimov, not a bad card. Now let's take a look at Mikhanov from the Ukraine, the 90 overall, because he was a pretty unique release, as he's 6'7", which makes him considerably valuable. But his speed isn't 99, and when you have these guys, while they are big and the speed is high, they do play slower. His shot is just basically what Anisimov's is, and his body checking is only 79. His face-offs being 99, however, is key. If you have to choose one or the other straight up, I would choose Anisimov because I think you'll get more value out of him. Mikhanov, you have to be really slow playing the game. You have to be someone who is super amazing at controlling the puck. He does have value, but his 79 body checking is super weird when you consider his size. That 99 faceoffs, though, if you really need a centerman and you have weak guys on the draw, that would be the tiebreaker, though, but I would take Anisimov in this scenario. Next up, from Matthew Trudell. I love the video. I currently have an almost max 97 overall team, and in which I have the 99 fantasy Brady Tkachuk, and I was wondering if I should sell it and create more depth for my team, or if I should keep the card. Thanks. Now, I also have the Brady Tkachuk, untradeable though, and he has been my favorite card this entire year. This is what I'll say. You have a 97 overall team. How much more depth are you getting? I would honestly keep the card. He's one of the rarest in the game that has max end value. He's big. He scores. His speed is maxed. He's honestly one of the best left-handed winger cards in the game. I would honestly keep him if you have a 97 overall team. This one comes from Brandon Bell, 95 Winter National Datsyuk, or the 95 champion Vladdy Tarasenko. All right, let's take a look at the cards. First, I just want to say how good the Winter National event was, that the cards still hold up. Not much you can say about Pavel Datsyuk. He's literally 95 across the board. Very, very, very good card. He is a little undersized in how this game is played, and but really no complaints. He's literally just 95 across the board and under 6 feet. So, again, very good, but not insane. At this stage of the game, he's also Pavel Datsyuk. So, it is nice to have a Pavel Datsyuk card. Now let's take a look at the champions, Vladimir Tarasenko, who was released obviously months later, but has the same overall rating. Again, he's 6', 225, so a lot more size on him with 99 skating. Shot right around the same as what Datsyuk has, but his hand stats are a little bit higher. Honestly, this is going to come down if you need a winger or a center. If you really need a center and your centers are kind of weak and you don't have 4 strong, I would rather have Datsyuk. But if it's not the case, I would rather have Vladdy Tarasenko. I think the extra size, not so much the height, but the weight, and all of his speed stats being maxed out, you're going to feel a little bit more with him throughout when you play with this card. So I would go with Vladimir Tarasenko again if you do not need a centerman. After him, we've got Horace Silver. What are your thoughts about the Nations of Hockey 97 Getzlaf card? So I said this in the release of this event, or when this card got released. He's honestly one of the best centermen in the game. If you can handle right-handed people on the draw, obviously, I don't. I refuse. I just cannot play with right-handed guys on the draw. I know a lot of the best players in the world are the same. John Wayne, for example, just can't use righties on the draw, whereas Nooch TV can only use righties. But that being said, 99 on the skating, and then his power is the 97, accuracy 92, and then his hand stats as well as his body checking all around in the mid-90s as well, with 99 face-up. This is literally one of the best centerman cards in the game. I'd honestly rather have him than Taves. This is Ryan Getzlaf has always been one of the better cards, just again because he's so big, and that is a really big boost when you're comparing these guys. Is it's super important to have these really big guys in NHL 20. Up next, we've got Madden Espinola. I have the 90 Chris Chelios. Should I upgrade him, or should I use my icons to get a 90 alumni X Guy Lafleur? We'll start with the 96 Chris Chelios on right defense. He's 6 foot 191, so not really anything crazy. His skating is rough at this stage of the game. Not so much his speed and whatnot, but his endurance being only 88. So you got to take that into mind as well, because all these cards with 99 endurance that have 99 speed means they're going to stay at that speed for longer. This card is obviously not going to stay at his max speed, which is 96, not even 99. So keep that in mind. Now, his slap shot is one of the best in the game, and because D-to-D one-timers are so important at this stage with NHL 20 and how it is played, we're going to get into what the meta is and everything like that in a second, because I have a question in regards to it, but that makes his slap shot one of the best. So if you are really lacking a right-handed defender and you take a lot of D-to-D one-timers, which you honestly should, this might be a very valuable card, and I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit cheaper than getting the Guy Lafleur. That being said, he's not very big, and there are a lot more options that you could probably go after, so we'll take a look first at the Guy Lafleur. So obviously Guy was one of the best cards in the game at launch, 99 basically everything important. So he's not very big either at 6 foot, but as far as right wingers go, this is one of the best in the game. I would honestly always choose offense over defense first, but the only way I'm going to say this is if Guy Lafleur is going to be your third line right winger or lower, I would go with Chelios if Chelios is going to be your first or second defense pairing. So again, if Chelios is going to be your third pairing right defender, I would go Guy Lafleur. If he's going to be your first or second, and Guy Lafleur is going to be on your third or fourth line, I would go Chelios. But if Guy is going to be one of your best right winger cards, or right-handed winger cards, I would go Guy. This is from James Buck. Can you maybe do a video on cheaper players? I've just started Hut, and I haven't got a lot of coins like most people. So here's the thing, obviously, just we're later in the year, so I can't really, it's not going to help a lot of people out, but I do want to help you out here, James. If you are looking for players to kind of progress and get a little bit better at, this is very easy. First, all you want to do is make sure you're playing squad battles. Do as many games as you can that you find entertaining, and that might not be a lot, but if you're really looking to build a team, squad battles, and then rivals. Even if you lose with your team that's very subpar, that's fine. You're still going to get the packs, okay? You want to be playing those modes as much as possible because it's literally never been easier in an NHL video game for a Hockey Ultimate Team to build a free-to-play team, so keep that in mind. Now, as far as the players you should target, look for the Winter National cards. Go into the auction house, select Winter National event, and go through those cards. They're going to be cheap, and they have very good shot and speed stats, which is the most important as you're upgrading your team, okay? So just keep that in mind, and I hope that helps. This is from Justin Gagnon. I think I said that right. 90 Ronick or 90 Riley. Okay, let's take a look at them. We'll start with the 90 overall Morgan Riley, 6'1", 217, so good size, 97 skating across the board, and a slap shot power of 88 and 82. His body checking is 85, puck control and passing is 91, which is good, and his awareness stats are above 90. This is a very good card and still holds his value. Like I said, man, the Winter National event was absolutely bananas in terms of value for these cards. Now let's take a look at the Ronick card. And he was honestly one of the most sought-after cards early in the game when he first came out. So he's got basically the same skating at 96 across the board. His slap shot power of 90 and accuracy of 84 is a little bit better. It's a decent, and then his hand stats are a little bit lower. They're under 90 as well. And then his awareness stats also a little bit lower. The only reason why I think Ronick held his value for so long was because he was right-handed, and there just wasn't a lot of good right-handed cards. But in this case, I would 100% go to Morgan Riley. This is from Mr. X. What the is the meta video on the meta? People are new to this Well, okay, I'll give you a quick rundown. I apologize, I did not explain what the meta is when I say it in my videos. So, what the meta is for NHL 20, all right, in a nutshell, it's collapsing protect net on defense, meaning that what you do is you take all of your forwards and your defensemen and you bring them all back in and sit in front of your net. And the reason is because, well, the overload, which has been so prevalent for years, was really, really at its highest peak. And when you're looking for cross-crease one-timers, because that is the a 100% go-to goal in this game. You put on collapsing protect net, and that takes away those chances, okay? So, again, that's part of the meta. The next thing is players over 6'2". It's never been more important to have gigantic players, and it's because of incidental contact and bumping into other players. So what you can do when you're on the rush, even if you don't have a big step into someone, you can get behind them and flick up on the right thumbstick to bump them. And the bigger your players are, the more effective that is. So again, smaller players in this game, not really usable at a competitive level. And then lastly, now it's D-to-D one-timers. When you put on collapsing protect net for so long, the only thing really open is the D-to-D one-timer. And now that D-to-D or defensemen have such huge attributes when it comes to shooting, well, that's why goals are going in so much, and that is really a go-to thing now in competitive NHL. The one thing I'll say is that behind the net is also the offensive strategy meta that you want to use, and the reason for that is because it helps getting guys to chase and get out of the slot. The overload you can't really use anymore, which has literally been the go-to strategy for the last decade, and it's because you can't pass through all 5 guys that are basically sitting in front of the net. There's very few top-end players that still use it. So I hope this helps, and I apologize that you're so mad. And then from my man Green Bean, Emmett Von Zubin, best Sagan card or best Stammer card? Great video. What's up, man? Let's take a look at the best Sagan and Stamkos card. The 94 primetime Tyler Seguin, 6'1", right-handed shot, 99 skating, and 95 shooting basically across the board. He's got 96 hand stats and then 82 body checking, so it's a little low there. Offensive awareness at 95. Defensive awareness, though, only 89, and a face-off rating of 96. So very, very well-rounded card for sure, and honestly has endgame stats kind of across the board. So let's take a look at that Stamkos card now. So the best Stamkos card you can get is the 96 overall Team of the Week one. 99 skating, a little bit higher shot, body checking 87, and the awareness stats much higher. So it's honestly pretty easy. It's going to be Steven Stamkos, and by quite a bit. He's definitely the better player in this scenario. Even if you go down to, let's say, his 94, it's still going to be better. The awareness stats, his body checking, they're basically the same height, so that's the only differentiating, thing about him. So I would 100% go Steven Stamkos. So guys, that's going to do it for Who Should You Choose, Episode 2. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like and comment down with your questions, and I will answer them on the next episode. The only thing I require is that you subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.